It's part 10 of the 12-part opponent video series. Today we're going to talk about the Virginia Cavaliers for 2016. Now here's what you need to know about the Virginia Cavaliers. They have a new coach in Bronco Mendenhall who comes from BYU, where he has been very, very successful out in Provo. But he comes east to Charlottesville, and they have a lot of work to do. Okay, they do have a lot of work to do. They do have some talent there. But let's talk about the Virginia Cavaliers. Let's talk on offense first. They need to have a good quarterback, and that's been the thing. If they want to play fast, they want to play up tempo with a new offensive coordinator in Robert Anai, and they've gotten to go both seniors, Matt Johns and Connor Brewer, but still no resolution on that yet. They also have a transfer from East Carolina, Kurt Benkert, who's already in fall camp. And they'll have a very good running back at Taekwon Mizell, who come in very nicely, which Bronco Mendenhall wants to do, and that's run it down your throat. And they have Donnie Dowling at wide receiver, who could have a very big season after coming back from knee surgery. But the depth is still an issue, as well as the offensive line, though they did get a boost from graduate transfer Jared Cohen. However, no matter what happens, they have to see how they handle their offensive. Hey, Tampa, how you doing? How they handle the offensive transition this summer, and how that battle between Johns, Brewer, and Bankert plays out. Now, there's no need to rush a quarterback. No need to give him the anointing oil, as Bill Parcells once said. No matter what happens, they have to cut mistakes down. Okay, they got to cut back on mistakes. So there's no rush to get a starter. Whoever the starter is, they have to do pretty well. Now on defense, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, the Virginia Cavaliers were absolutely pathetic on defense last year. They were last in scoring defense. Last. But however, now with a new coach in Bronco Mendenhall, there's enough hope and enough talent for him to slowly start to make things happen. The old coach, Mike London, left some pretty good talent behind for Mendenhall to work with. And that includes first-team all-star free safety in Quentin Blanding and linebacker Micah Kaiser. Now, let's be honest. Bronco Mendenhall is the defensive coordinator, even though he doesn't have that title. But we'll see a 3-4 defense when we go up there on November 12th, and he's going to continue that now that fall camp's underway up there. Now there are going to be question marks to be sure, but they have impressed under Mendenhall. They're led by senior Dante Wilkins, and he's a natural in that 3-4 set. But they have Andrew Brown on D end and strong side linebacker C.J. Stalker. And they can start performing very, very well like the studs they were out of high school this year. And the key for them is Juan Thornhill. If he can build on on the all season, and they get Tim Harris to finally step up as that upperclassman leader, there may be some hope there on that back end of the secondary. But here's the important thing. Fundamentals is going to be a key, because the lack of talent is not the biggest issue. The talent's there. The key, of course, is going to be switching from the 4-3 to the 3-4. I mean, you could see stars step up in that system with Dante Wilkins and Junior Andrew Brown. And Wilkins in the spring was absolutely unbelievable at nose guard. And that's the most important position in a 3-4, as we well know. Brown is the kind of stud from 2014 that could really make a major impact on the strong side DN spot. And they could all have all ACC honors and the attention of pro scouts come draft time. Virginia, the key is going to be the quarterback, though. If they will be better if they get good, solid play from their quarterback. And think about it. Under former coach Mike London, the poor play at that position was his downfall. And it's been an issue in Charlottesville for a long time. Think about it. They haven't finished higher than 6th in the conference in passing efficiency since 2010. And they threw 18 picks last year. That's 3 more than any other team in the league. And if they're going to be better, they have got to be better as an offense. They have to be. That means Johns, Brewer, or Bankers, whoever gets the job, is going to have to cut mistakes down. Because their best offensive player is senior Taekwon Mazzell. You don't want to have. They don't want to have Mazzell do everything on his own. But he could if he had to. They're hoping he doesn't. He proved it last year. He had 671 yards rushing and 75 receptions. I mean, he could do it all. He's the kind of guy you'll see in the NFL, to be sure. And his toughness and between the tackles will suit very nicely with what the new staff wants to do. Their best defensive player is junior Micah Kaiser, although you can make a case for Quinn Blanding at free safety. However, in 15, Kaiser was the kind of guy that could really be a leader on defense. He led the team in tackles, stops for loss, sacks, and forced fumbles. He plays from whistle to whistle with amazing closing speed and anticipates very, very well. We are talking about the Virginia Cavaliers, Avocado. Correct, sir. Now, as an inside linebacker in the 3-4, Kaiser's going to be making a lot of plays, especially in the backfield. Now, the key player, again, whoever's the quarterback, Johns, Brewer, Bankert. You could talk about the depth at the O-line, receiver replacement, etc. But the key will be the quarterback. Now, for the Cavaliers season to be successful in Bronco Mendenhall's first year in Charlottesville, they have to do better in all those positions. Now, they won only 4 games last year, and 5 of those losses were by a touchdown or less. And Mendenhall's brought more discipline and has made people more accountable in Charlottesville. But they have a very deep roster. The talent's there to make a bowl run in 16. But it'll come down to that last game on November 26th in Blacksburg against Virginia Tech. But let's think about this. Virginia needs to win in Blacksburg for the first time in 12 years. They have not done that. If Bronco Mendenhall can lead that team to a win in Blacksburg against Virginia Tech, then it'll be a very, very clear message in the Commonwealth of Virginia and throughout the Mid-Atlantic that, hey, Virginia will be a place you want to come to. And he's going to have his work cut off. Like I said, I'll go back to the quarterback play. Virginia threw 18 picks. You know what the opponents threw in interceptions? 4. Virginia opponents 21 times. You know, Avocado, a tough game. I'm thinking, I'll talk about that in a moment. 3rd down conversions. Virginia 43, opponents 37%. Now, Avocado Jackson brought up a good point. Being healthy after an expected win against Pittsburgh. Now, here's why I see this game going. We narrowly beat Virginia last year under interim coach Larry Scott. That was 2 weeks after Al canned. And 1 week after the death of Artie Burns. And the miracle in Durham, which I'll talk about later. But we faced a very tough opponent, and Virginia was one of those for the Canes because it was our first home game since Clemson just gave us a beating that changed everything. Okay, it was another battle in the Coastal, and it turned which finished with a close race. But Brad Kaya sent the message: threw 286 yards, 2 touchdowns, and our defense, while allowing big plays in the passing game, shut down the run when it had to, and basically we won that game late. We got it, and we came bowl eligible from there. But let me tell you this: you're not going to see that this time. You're not going to see that this time, because now you know we have the most prolific coach maybe in college football, Mark Richt. But yes, they have, like I said, Mendenhall. Now, like I said, when Mendenhall was in Provo, he won 10 or more games in 5 of his 10 years. But BYU was an independent. Now, in Charlottesville, he's not going to have the big spotlight that he did in Provo. But being a member of the ACC, having very, very fertile recruiting ground in the Commonwealth of Virginia and throughout the East Coast, that team's going to be very, very tough to beat down the road. Now, like I said, you know the deal there. I mentioned them earlier. But, however, I also forgot Zach Bradshaw is going to be one you got to watch too. No question. Now, my thoughts on this game. While there's new coaches in this game, yes, Virginia will be very much improved. They're just the Canes will just be coming off a very tough win against Pittsburgh. And I think we're going up to Charlottesville late in the year with maybe an ACC title game appearance on the line. And I'm going to say a little further. I'm going to say maybe still be in that playoff discussion. I think we're going to go up there. It'll be close like it was in the past. But I think in the end, too many weapons, too many athletes, too many big plays. No, I don't think it'll be a playoff berth. I think we'll be in the discussion. But I'll talk about that again later. But in the end, I think Canes win another close ball game against a much improved Virginia team. I'm going to go in this game, Canes 27, Virginia 23. One of those squeakers, but I think in the end, Canes win a close one. Back tomorrow, part 11 of the series. We'll talk about the North Carolina State Wolfpack. Have a good night. Talk to you tomorrow.